when behaviors are repeated over time, it forms a pattern. It gives us a sense of predictability and stability. This is what we mean by social structure. And if the same behaviors are repeated among different sets of teachers and students in different schools, they are repeated the same way, day in, day out, day in, day out, between different sets of teachers and students in different schools. And all these schools have similar repeated behaviors. So they have a common denominator among these schools, and they become what we call the educational institution. And if behaviors are repeated among different sets of doctors and patients, day in, day out, day in, day out, in different hospitals, in different health facilities, it gives the patients a sense of stability and predictability in terms of what he or she should expect when he or she sees a doctor. And again, it's the same thing. These different hospitals and health facilities in the same region, in different regions, it doesn't matter. Doctors and patients, doctors and nurses behave almost the same way, day in, day out, day in, day out. And when we group all these hospitals and health facilities together, we can call them the healthcare institutions. And the repeated behaviors between teachers and students are different for the repeated behaviors between medical professionals and patients. And because of that, the social structure formed in the educational institution is very different from the social structure formed in the healthcare institution. So we can say that when we group all these repeated behaviors into different categories, we have social institutions and government institution or political institution. Let's say one example of a political institution would be the DMV. When we go to renew our car tag or renew our license every few years or every year for the car tag, the repeated behaviors between employees at the DMV and the consumers, we can say that, are also predictable. They repeat themselves across different employees and customers or consumers. So they form a new set of patterns within the government or political institutions. And we can say that DMV in different locations throughout the US, they operate almost the same. Employees at DMVs in different locations in the US, they interact in almost the same way with customers or consumers when they go to get their license, when they go to renew their license, when they go to renew their car tag. They interact almost the same way with consumers or drivers or customers. So the repeated behaviors in the DMV, an example of a political institution, is very different from the repeated behaviors that take place in the school between teachers and students, between teachers and administrators, and the repeated behaviors for doctors and nurses, for doctors and patients on a daily basis is going to be very different for the repeated behaviors in any government agency like the DNV. So once again, we can group all these repeated behaviors into different categories. And sociologists call these repeated behaviors that forms patterns, social structure. We can group the social structure into different categories, and this is how we get social institutions. Are we clear?